Welcome YouTube to All the Balls. We talk sports here. My name is Jeff and this is my channel. So basically I made a video last week for a contest going on at ESPN's First Take, and I enjoyed creating the video so much that I made this channel. So what I'm aiming to do is create weekly videos of my opinion of the hot topics that are going on in sports and anything that you guys really want me to talk about in general in the sports world. Speaking of which, last night the Chicago Cubs reached the World Series for the first time since 1945. I couldn't make this video without mentioning that since that's such a huge feat. So congratulations, Cubs fans. You guys deserve it. I hope you guys win it all. It'll be a great story. Today I want to show you the video I submitted to the contest, basically talking about the good and the bad side of the Kevin Durant move to the Golden State Warriors and what that means for the NBA season. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button down below and also subscribe. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about, leave a comment, leaving what you want me to talk about, and thanks for the support. And without further delay, let's get into the video. I was going to do an NBA season preview as my first video. Just make the predictions of who's going to end up where, who's going to win the finals, who's going to go all the way. I can't do that. Now, you want to put blame on this situation? Blame Kevin Durant. Last year, let's rewind to last year. Kevin Durant is up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors. The team who went 73-9, the team that broke pretty much every three-point record. Game 6, he doesn't show up. Game 7, he shows up too late. He scores maybe like 10 points in the final couple of minutes of the game, but at that point, the Warriors are already at like 10. Game's over. Warriors move on to the NBA Finals. I know recently he said that he watched that team. He said, oh man, I hope they lose so that I can join them. Paraphrasing, of course. He hoped that the Warriors lost the NBA Finals so he can join them. At that moment, I don't blame him. The Warriors are pretty good. I can understand why Kevin Durant is a little bit of a panic because he doesn't have a ring. It's been 9 years. He's this unbelievably talented basketball player, and he doesn't have a championship ring on his resume. So what does he do? He joins the Warriors. He joins the best sharpshooter of all time. Yes, Steph Curry is the best sharpshooter of all time. In my eyes, he is a sellout. He was supposed to be that guy that was supposed to supplant, Mr. LeBron James over in Cleveland. Or he hasn't done the job yet, but the job was supposed to be with a team that was his. You feel bad in a way because you wish that would have happened. But maybe that's just not who Kevin Durant is. Maybe he is a beta person who's got this incredible talent. Maybe he's like a Bob McAdoo or someone like that who has no problem going to a stacked team, lowering his numbers just so that he can get a championship ring. That's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I think the rest of the NBA community is just shocked that someone would do that. I don't mean the NBA players themselves because I don't think anybody's really said that. I think the people who report it, the people that, watch it, the people who love the game are kind of like, what's the point of watching the regular season this year? I think, honestly, he left Oklahoma City because he can't beat LeBron James on his own. And what's terrible is that he wasn't on his own. He had Russell Westbrook. So I think that the Golden State Warriors loaded up with all this talent. Now they got two of the best three players in the league on their squad because one guy who is supremely talented is not confident in beating the best player in the league to get a championship ring. Because let's face it, there are no teams in the Eastern Conference that can take that away from Cleveland. No teams. There are going to be some competitive teams that make it a little tough. The Indiana Pacers, for one, are a lot stronger this year. So are the Boston Celtics. The Raptors will just be just as good. But nobody's going to take that throne away from the Cavaliers. Durant is joining that team to beat LeBron. It's as simple as that. I honestly think that LeBron would have been a four-time champion had Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving not gone down last year. I don't want to go into the other side of it, which is he choked, but it's not as bad as when LeBron left to go to Miami or when Boston had their big three or all that other stuff. Here's the difference. when the Miami Heat got together, when they had that huge big three, Dwayne Wade was the only player on that squad that was of the superstar talent. I think the only other player that was on that team that was considered any sort of, star was a very old Jermaine O'Neal. He went 47-35 that year. They lost to the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. They were not an all-time team like the Warriors are. When LeBron James and Chris Bosh decided to go down to South Beach, it wasn't like they were leaving a team that was contending. Chris Bosh was getting bounced out of the first round every year out of Toronto. LeBron James was on one of the skinniest rosters in the league. That isn't even comparable to the situation. It's not. And if you want to throw out the Boston Big Three of Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, that team was traded. Those were three players that were on the back end of their prime trying to win a championship. And they did it successfully. It's a different scenario altogether. I think personally, it's good and bad. Because on one side of it, you've got a very lopsided roster against another semi-lopsided roster. And outside of like the San Antonio Spurs, I don't see any NBA team competing against them. On the other side of it, it's good because of two things. One, you get to see the three best players in the league compete against each other for the title this year. But it's going to be an exciting finals like it was last year. It's going to be down to the wire, probably to a Game 7. The other aspect is you get to see your team, if you're a fan of the team, play against these guys. You get to see them try to beat them. Beating the Warriors, beating the Cavaliers, and your team being the team to do it. That is going to be why you watch the regular season this year. If you were one of those teams that beats them, hoorah, good for you. Unless you're Boston. I can't stand you. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm a Knicks fan. I just don't like the Boston Celtics. For the rest of you guys, great, awesome. I think that's the best reason to watch the regular season this year. To watch all those guys lose to you, to your favorite team. Also, watch Russell Westbrook this year. I think he's going to get close to averaging a triple-double. Honestly, the man's a freak of nature, and now that he doesn't have Kevin Durant, and he's going to do something special this year individually. The Thunder can go to the second round this year with the team they still have. Oh, God. I think that's all I got.